This episode of Nintendo Expansion Pass is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Okay, so you got the notes and everything?
I do. I have the notes. I always kind of make other ones for myself too because I'm just a Pokemon person, And I actually have like to try to make it easier for rankings.
Yes, organized. Yes.
I try, and I was like, last time I was doing this on paper. You're hearing the paper, and I'm like, no. It's like, Fredo, I need to use your tablet because I don't want paper. No.
Alright, well, here we go. This is the final one, so. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ranking Nintendo here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host, the nice and excited ADV. Joining me is the Pokemon professor himself, Benjamin, again. Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me again. I'm excited to be here.
This is part 3, our final ranking. We are doing 4 games: Pokemon X and Y, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and Scarlet and Violet. So we have 12 Pokemon to rank.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I thought last ranking was going to be difficult. Doesn't compare to all 4 of these games. Because goodness, looking at their designs, I was just like, what is going to be top for me? What's going to be the top thing for this ranking? I'm excited.
It is very exciting. I have a preliminary list for myself because I had to look at them a lot before I came to my decisions. I was like, let me put something together before I get all like disheveled. So I'm ready.
Yes. Well, everybody, we don't got too much history with this one, because we got a lot of Pokemon to rank. Pokemon X and Y is the 6th generation of the series, and it released October 12th, 2013. Sun and Moon is the 7th generation that released on November 17th, 2017. Sword and Shield is the 8th generation that released on November 15th, 2019. And Scarlet and Violet is the 9th generation and it released on November 19th, 2022. So X and Y and Sun and Moon both released on 3DS, and Sword and Shield, and Scarlet and Violet was for Switch. X and Y sold 16.65 million. Sun and Moon sold 16 million. Sword and Shield sold 24.27 million. And Scarlet and Violet has already sold 10 million copies just in 3 days after the game release, and is continuing to sell. That is, let me tell you, that and Splatoon 3 are probably 2 of Nintendo's biggest selling games in 3 days on Switch in 2022. Cause Splatoon 3 did 3 million.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know Splatoon is huge in Japan, and I know also obviously Pokemon is huge in Japan. So maybe that is a partial reason why it gets so much publicity, gets so much hype around it. It's because we have a lot of Japan players, and if they like something, it's gonna do well.
Yes. So, alright, Benjamin, you ready to get into this ranking?
I am. Let's do it.
Okay, so everybody, we're going to start with our grass type. From X and Y, we have Chespin. He evolves into Quilladin, and his last formation is Chestnut. I don't know if he's a beaver or what, but I will say this. He's a good looking starter. Quilladin is okay, but I like Chestnut. Chestnut is something, he has this wizard look to him and everything. He doesn't look like a chestnut or anything, but something about his final form really looks good.
I agree. I think it looks very good. Yes.
What are your thoughts about
About Chespin. So Chespin, I think is
yes.
a really good design Pokemon. I think it fits that cute, the first Pokemon that you encounter in a game, they usually go for a couple different design choices, and this one they definitely chose cute, right? So
Yes.
Chespin looks like a little, I'm trying to think, like a chipmunk, right? Plus
Uh,
having like this green like hoodie type thing and a cloak with this little tail, so obviously you can easily see that it's a grass type Pokemon, which is good. That's what you want, right? But it's also very adorable, and how it was displayed in the anime, it was like a glutton always trying to eat and stuff like that. It was really funny, always getting really full with a full belly. It had a great personality. I think a lot of people do not like its first evolution. Quilladin. I think it's a great name. I don't mind the roly poly, look of it, but I
yes.
think people were hoping for something different, either something more cool or something more streamlined. They just didn't think that it flowed too well. But I do agree that its final evolution, Chestnut, being a grass and fighting type, that's a good thing. It had a good signature move with Spiky Shield, which also made it, unique to the world. And then also, in reality, it's more of I guess kind of like a bigger chipmunk and a chestnut. They're trying to go with nuts, but my only issue with that Pokemon is the color scheming. I think that the part that's like a vanilla or whatever color that is,
Mhm.
I think it doesn't serve it as much justice. I think if you look at its shiny form is perfect. It has darker colors, darker greens, and a darker brown to it, and I think it looks fantastic. So I like it in its shiny form way better. But it also, this generation for X and Y and Kalos, they went with themes, and I think we might have touched on this a little bit last episode, but this one is based off of a paladin. So if you think of the traditional RPG tropes or the RPG kinds that you could be, like a thief, a wizard, a paladin,
Yes.
all those kind of things, this one is based off of a paladin. So I think that was a really cool choice. I can totally see design, and maybe that's why they went with the color. Maybe paladins are basically more like um, supposed to be heroic and light, so maybe the light color. But I think it's very well designed. I think it's underrated, to be quite honest. But Chespin itself, except for the middle evolution, is very strong.
Yeah. Chess Chestnut has this old wizard look to him. Because if you look at the back, it looks like he has a cape, and then he has
Okay.
the beard on it. So yeah, I can see like the paladin look to him that it looks like he's a wizard and everything. So yes. Moving on to Sun and the Moon, we have Rowlet. And his evolved form is Dartrix, and his final form is Decidueye. Okay, I love Rowlet. I know people were like so against him, but he's the cutest owl I have ever seen. Now, some people are not, Benjamin, you probably not gonna know this one. Uh his second formation is called Dartrix.
Hmm.
He has a design of an enemy from this game called Kid Nick Eye. It was a
Not
it was
familiar.
it was a arcade NES game from 1986, 86, 87, and it was like these blue ninjas that had this white mask on, and the white mask looked like an owl and stuff.
Okay.
And people who it's a very old game if you look at it. People who look at Dark Tricks might think of Batman also with the Court of Owls in a
Hmm.
sense. But I love his middle form, but his final form is so Zelda and it's so perfect. Like this literally looks like it could be a champion in Tears of the Kingdom.
Wow. Nice.
Like I seen it and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. It's so good. Thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, Rowlet is like another meme Pokemon. I mean, it had that one meme, a one episode, I believe, in the anime, and it was doing this one pose, and it was posted all over the internet. So
Uh-huh.
it became a very big meme, and I think because of that, it gained popularity. But Rowlet itself is a really good design. I mean, once you saw it in animated, I think it helped people understand what they were going for. And I mean, give yourself a round first evolution Pokemon, and it's just adorable. So Rowlet, I think, is great. It's a really nice, and I think it was the first time we ever had a flying type as a first stage Pokemon. So people,
Yes,
most
it is.
Pokemon started with like either single typing, or if they had a dual typing, it was never flying. So I thought that was interesting, starting already off the gate with a grass flying. I thought that was pretty cool.
And, and
Dark.
that's so weird because
Mm-hmm.
flying beats grass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is weird. I think very well designed Pokemon. Dartrix, I think it's another one that I think leaves a little bit to be desired from a lot of people. I don't mind it. I think it looks like a really good middle evolution. I mean, middle evolution to me is supposed to look like almost like an aging teenager. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you think about babies, teenagers, adults. I think that it fits that very well. I think it's designed nice, and I think of the owls in Batman more like their mask, because it definitely has that specific look. I forget what type of owl it's called, but or what it's based off of, but definitely look like that. And Decidueye, I mean, Decidueye is amazing. It's a great name. It took me a while to get used to it, but it's supposed to be like a dying tree, or I believe Decidueye, and because it's a ghost type, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it is so good. And then it's like Robin Hood, basically, where it has its hoodie, it uses its feathers and stuff as bow and arrows and stuff. It's definitely a really good design. But then they took it another level, and now this one also is a divide, but in Pokemon Legends Arceus, they came out with another form of Decidueye, and it's the
Hmm.
Hisuian Decidueye. Now that one looks more like a samurai, right? And I really think that one looks good with a really nice traditional like samurai hat with the straws coming out or something. Oh my god, I
Ah,
think it looks fantastic. That one, unfortunately, also has people like, I'm not sure. But to me, I just think they took a concept that's already great and just changed it and made it great in another sense. So I think the whole line is extremely strong. This is definitely top tier.
yes, yes. Well, everybody, it's time to go for Sword and Shield. We have Groki, and he evolves into Thraki, and his final form is Rillaboom. Okay, now I love that he has a monkey, and I love the little bamboo that's in top of his hair. Still love it with Thwacky. I actually like the name Thwacky. It looks really nice. But Willaboom, hmm, he needs some. There's something about his design that needs like more detail. Like I don't know. It looks like it needs some metal, or it needs to do something more with the stick that he had. Like I wish it was kind of like a ninja or something, like or like had a bow, because he's surfing us Blanca from Street Fighter Two.
Yes, very much that. Yes.
You know, so uh, yeah, yeah. Thoughts, Benjamin.
So I think Grookey is super cute. When we first saw it, when it was first shown off, it was animated. It was in the beginning cutscene. You could see it drumming along with its little you know, bamboo in its hair to the grass, and it was
Yeah.
making the grass grow. Perfect. It's really cute. How do you not like monkeys, right? It's a really nice design. I think the colors are very nice and vibrant. So
Yes.
definitely a good design Pokemon. Um, it took me a while to really like Thwacky. I love its name. That I will say, it's a great name. It makes sense that it has like two now in its head that it can take off and then use as two of them. But I think the color was throwing a lot of people off. The fact that it went from this green to this really neon yellow, I think that was kind of weird. It just, if you look at them all together, that neon is a little funky, I'm gonna say. I like color. I like the expression of color. It's just a little weird to me. I'm not sure where they drew that green. So I think
Hmm.
if it's yellow was changed to a different color, I think the whole design would work just a little bit better. When it comes to Rillaboom, I do see Blanca absolutely. I mean, I played Street Fighter for so many years. But I think the issue here is that its drums that it brings out in battle are not there for you to see in its original promotional art. And then also, um, when you're playing the game, only when it's doing an attack, it takes the drums out of its back underneath its long hair, and then it starts using them. But if the drums were incorporated into its main design as opposed to being somewhere else, I think it would look better. But
Yeah.
you're just seeing a monkey, right? So it's just it leaves, like you said, something to be desired. Now they fixed it a tiny bit when they went with Gigantamax. Gigantamax is just all over the place. It has a big drum set and it's just going crazy with all these vines and all these drums. It's really really cool, but you don't get to see that often. You're not seeing that majority of the time. So yes, I think this is a really good line, but I think there's stuff that should have changed before the final edit.
Yes, I agree. So then we get to Scarlet and Violet with our last one, Spriga Tito. He
Sprigatito.
yes, he enforces to Floragato, and his final four is Meowscarada. Okay, I don't know even where to start.
Okay.
So Benjamin, I'm gonna let you go on this one, and then I'll follow after you because yeah, go ahead, Benjamin.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start by saying Sprigatito is S tier. S tier. All right. I love cats. I'm a big cat person. I love animals in general, but cats definitely. They're probably number one for me. So we got another cat. I'm like, yes, this is great. I think it's designed well. I love the pink eyes. I just love the entire design of Sprigatito. It just looks so adorable. I just want to have it with me, have it walk around next to me everywhere I go. Adorable design. A little bit disappointed with the shiny, being that it's only like a two shade difference, but it itself is amazing. I think then it goes, and I didn't even think they could get better, but it went to Florigato, and Florigato is probably the best middle starter I have ever seen in Pokemon. It is so fantastic. I think they couldn't have done anything better. It looks so perfect. I mean, I can't even, it looks like a thief. They put it on two legs, but that didn't even hinder it. And most people were really hoping that this Pokemon would stay on four legs because this is a trope that Pokemon Company does a lot. Is that they take something that's quadruped and they make it stand up, and people don't really like that. But this one they did incredibly well. So that is
Yes,
one of the best middle evolutions I have ever seen. And then Meowscarada, I think it's good. It's not as good as Florigato, but I think it's good. It has a good concept. I like to see it in motion. When it's in motion, it looks really, really good. I like it in the game that it has such a really good signature move that always crits and always hits. That's amazing. That is amazing. Then it goes, it's a dark type too, a grass and dark. Now, yeah, it has a lot of weaknesses in the Pokemon, universe, but it also has a hidden ability that is, everybody wants that it can change its type. I mean, you can't go wrong with this thing. Amazing attack, amazing speed, amazing hidden ability, and then it has an amazing signature move. So even if you don't like the design, the Pokemon itself, competitively or in the game, was done incredibly well. So this is very strong. I think S for Sprigatito, S for Florigato, and Meowscarada. I'm gonna put like a B plus if I would say ranking each one of them.
okay, okay. So all of them are serving looks. Love all of them for me. Florigato looks like a kid version of Sly Cooper and the Bandits of Thieves. Like it
Oh
could be in the
wow.
Sly Cooper game, for PSP. And then Miascarada is
Hmm.
serving everything and more. It is giving thieves. It is giving once again the adult version of Sly Cooper. I love the legs because they look like some boots and
Hmm.
something. It's like it's in a female form, and you know it could get catty because it is a cat and everything, but it looks like it's so clean and sophisticated, and it's just it looks also a little bit shady too. Like you be
Mhm.
like, meow. Oh, you want to you want to paw with me? It's serving icon. It's serving uh queer representation. Like it's serving all of that, and
It really is.
I loved it. It just like if even the grass part that's coming behind her hands, it is a little bit cosplayish. I can say that
Mhm.
with ease, but it's
Mhm.
done so well. It's done so perfectly. And I know they were going for the Spanish flair and this look, and I feel like they pulled it off so well with Miascarada. They pulled it off even with Florigato. Like Florigato, like you know, it still have this boyish look to it, but it looks like, if you dressed your kid up for Halloween as that, it would probably win so many Halloween costumes. It's just designed so well. And I love whatever this pink little mushroom or ball thing that is with it. I love so much. It looks like, if you think about it, it looks like a pen cushion that you put pens in when you're making an
Oh,
outfit.
okay. Okay.
You know,
They actually use it in the game as like a yo-yo, but it also looks like when it sits like a pin, some like a really fancy embroidered pin that's right
yes.
here on you. So it's used in both ways. When it's still, it's there, but actually using it in the game, it's actually used as a yo-yo, and that's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, so that's our grass types. Mia Sagrada. Yes.
Yes, and I gotta say, I love the names. My parents are Puerto Rican, so I'm a Puerto Rican American born here, and I love I love this whole region for Paldea, so I'm really in love with the names. These names for these for this line are fantastic. I love them all. Gotta say that.
It's so funny because I know we didn't get to talk about it, but so many people weren't going to get Sprigiato. They thought, it was Quaxley that everybody was going for.
Hmm.
And now it's just like, because when we get to Fubi Coco,
Hmm. That's gonna be a thing. Yeah.
that you talking about meme? How, someone is online posting him sucking on their nipples and stuff and their muscles, and I'm like, are we really doing
My
this
God,
community?
I haven't seen that one yet. Oh my
Oh, I
gosh.
have. It's ridiculous. It's so funny. I was just like, someone is doing too much, but we're gonna get into our water type.
All right.
And we're gonna start with X and Y, and we're gonna get into Froakie, who is a frog. His evolution is Frogator, or Frogator, I think.
Frogadier.
Frogadier.
Hmm.
Okay. And then everybody, if you didn't know, you're about to know now. The final evolutions is Greninja. Like,
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
okay, let's get into it.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm gonna let you go, Benjamin. I'm gonna let you start this one.
So, Froakie, I think it's super cute. Super, super cute. But I fell in love with this one, honestly, not through the game, definitely through the anime. When the anime showed it, like, it was just cute on the ground, and then it was nuzzling up a Pokeball to Ash to try to say, hey, catch me. Adorable. When how they use I don't think they use it enough in the game, so you can't see um these are all like bubbles. So they based this off of specific frogs out in the world that actually have bubbles all over as like a protection. So I
Uh
thought
huh.
that was really cool, and I think that they should have just done that a little bit more within the game's animation, so people understood what that all was about more than how it looks, because it kind of looks. a little funny. I think if you don't
It
know
looks like
really what they're trying to go for.
cotton mixed with soap duds or soap
Right.
buzz. You
Yeah.
know.
So people, it's kind of hard to say, hey, this was supposed to be based off of this. They should have just done it in the anime. They did it well, but in the games they could have emphasized that a little bit more, so it made more sense. But still, I think a very nice design, very nice color. I love that shade of blue. Think it looks
Hmm.
amazing against that yellow eye. Amazing. I think Frogadier is very lackluster. Okay, Frogadier, it's just okay. It's just a slender frog. It gets bigger. It uses the bubbles, in a different way, like a scarf. Kind of cool, but there's not much to it that I can say that it's great. I think it's just a middle stage, but there's not much to it. But of course, that's not who we're here for. We're here for Greninja, right? Greninja won the world by storm. It is a ninja frog. It's a water and dark Pokemon. Amazing, amazing. The fact that it uses its tongue as its scarf is super super cool. I mean, they gave so much attention to this Pokemon. It was in Smash Bros. They also
Yes.
even gave it an evolution that's like specific to this Pokemon. It has a not even it's not even called a Mega Evolution. It has Ash Greninja, so it transforms itself to look more like Ash from the anime, and it's the only one that can do such a thing. So they gave this Pokemon love, and rightfully so. It's an amazing Pokemon. So the way I'm gonna say is that Froakie, I think, is a really strong design, but it's still kind of middle of the pack. I think Frogadier kind of falls down, but then they gain everything back when they go to Greninja. Greninja is the strongest part of this whole evolutionary line, but I think Froakie itself is just it's decent. It's just not great. What about you?
Yeah, there's something about, okay, so like his 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 okay, so Froakie for me is just too basic as a frog. Like there is no flair to it. Um he looked like he's missing some glasses, like some old man glasses. And then when he go
Okay.
to like Frogadier, he looks like he has the glasses, but still basic. Like Greninja looks something completely different than what you start out as. And I think if Froakie and Frogadier had a samurai ninja look to him to get to Greninja, I think they would be set. But he just, man, Greninja the is top tier when it comes to water. Like really, really, and because he is shown in Smash and a lot using the anime a lot, I I don't know. I know where I placed him at, but I think Froggy and Frogadier really hurt the design, really hurt Greninja's look in a sense because you had to you had to grind these two characters to get this ultimate and awesome Pokemon.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, you're kind of just stuck with them until you get to the final. You're just trying to get there as fast as possible. I get that.
yes, so I don't have no more to say. But ooh, goodness, I think ooh, gosh. So Sun and Moon, we get to Popplio. He is a seal, kind of walrus looking Pokemon. He evolves into Brione, or she evolves into Brione, and which evolves into Primarina. I think this is the worst looking Pokemon. I'm sorry. For this discussion because he has the circus look to it
Hmm.
and cool. I will say this: I love the consistency out of all three of the looks, and
Okay.
I actually Brione I really love. It's giving Studio Ghibli if Walt Disney was turned into some of their movies were done by Japanese, like if The Little Mermaid was done by Studio Ghibli, and instead of Ariel being human, it was a seal. Like it's Brione looks really good, and I like Pre Marina because it's playing off of a prima donna in a sense. It's it's It looks like Ariana Grande still cosplay.
Okay.
Like look at the hair and look at the bow and everything. Like
Okay.
if she was supposed to if it was supposed to be singing No Tears Left to Cry and that was the
Well, it is a
animation,
singer, so that's I can see it. It's definitely a singer, which is cool.
you know, just think of her using or something like Daft Punk or something.
Hmm. Well, those are some interesting opinions there. So I'm gonna say I think Poplio is cute. It does definitely give us circus seal, and
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. Not a bad thing. I think what I have seen when it came out and what the biggest divide was after Poplio. I think most people were fine with Poplio, but the divide happened when it evolved, right? Not a lot of people understood why Poplio turned so feminine, and I don't mind that, but that is still a divide when it comes to Pokemon. When a Pokemon either leans too heavily into being masculine or feminine, it's gonna divide people, right? Because certain guys are not going to want to play with a feminine design, and it's unfortunate that that it's like that still. But I think unfortunately that hurt Brion. It's cute. It looks like it has little pigtails. It has a little flowy dress on it, but I guess if you think of the clown going into that, how does she turn? h- How is a clown turning into her? What is her role within that? It doesn't. I don't think it lines up enough. Like you can't really tell what she's supposed to be as Brion. Now, Primarina, personally, I absolutely love Primarina. I love the look. I love the typing, water and fairy. I mean, that was unheard of. That was amazing. We're getting a starter that turned out to be a fairy type, one of the most overpowered typings that they came out with since X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Loved it. I think still though there's a lot of people that are divisive over Primarina because again so feminine, and then also you're taking many concepts. That's like three concepts in one. You're giving me mermaid, right? You're giving me seal, and you're giving me a singer as well. There's three concepts all in one. And the seal slash mermaid, it's a divide for people. I love it, but I can understand why maybe it's a little bit too much. But seeing it do its like special Z move that they had in the game, oh, it looked amazing. Its hair came out of its pearls. It was all like flowy and then singing like doing opera. Amazing, amazing. But if we're gonna go back and say as a whole, I think this one is going to be on the lower end, unfortunately. Me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I love Primarina. Poplio is okay. Brion is just okay. Uh, but to me, it's all about Primarina. And it's the same thing we were talking about with Froakie. I just want to get to the end. I just want to get to the final evolution. I really don't care about the first two all that much.
I will say this about Brione. It's the eyes because the eye pops out of everything, and I guess that's why I'm making that Studio Ghibli, that anime
Hmm.
connection, because that eye is very anime, and it makes the rest of the design look beautiful and stuff. It feels like starting from the eye and going outwards, you can see. Oh, I get the idea what they're doing. Yes, going from Poplio with the circus look to Brione with this anime kind of girlish uh look. It's kind of weird to see how they transition it
Hmm.
and everything. Well, we're gonna get into Sword and Shield, which it starts with Sable. He involves it to Drizzle. And then his final evolution is Italian or Italia. I don't know how some of these Pokemon names are
That's okay.
pronounced.
I'll help you with them. No worries. No worries.
Okay. I get Sabo. Like he looks like he's about to cry or he's about to sob. I do not like Drizzle's look. Like I understand he's sobbing, but then he goes to I'm emo. And then he goes into I'm a spy.
Hmm.
You know, Uh,
I think most people are gonna say the same thing about this line.
like the transition doesn't like I understand you're it's like you're going to from weakness to big courage because you're this reptilian spy looking kind of animal in Tidion. But then you get Drizzle who's like, you know, hey, what's up? Stay in school, kids. Like, but he's emo and stuff. Like, and I think it's the hair covering the eye and stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, so it looks very weird because even his eye changes when he gets to Insidion. Like it has that gold look from it. Uh, yeah, I think they didn't know what to do with Sabo, to tell you the truth.
So, I do agree. Sabo itself is fantastic. We all know when this came up, I saw so many people like, I would protect Sabo with my life, and he is a representation of me, and whatever. And who would not want to be on the corner of a little timid thing that's crying all the time? I mean, it's cute, it's endearing. So totally, totally love Sabo. I'm not as much of a hater of Drizzile
Mm-hmm.
as most people are, but I do understand that people are just trying to put a connection between the two, right? Saying, okay, it's crying, uh, but then it's I guess I try to put it like if you were a crybaby and always by yourself, then you're kind of gonna grow up and a teenager. You might be a loner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might not be around people. You kind of doing your own thing. So maybe you go into the more emo side because you can be yourself. You can be kind of solitude. So that's the connection I make. I'm crying all the time as a baby, so I'm not big on making friends. So I'm gonna be kind of a loner and maybe go into this because I can kind of do it myself and be by myself, right? So that's the connection I get. But I do understand that the design is a little funny with the hair. It's like they're trying too hard. I think really what happened is
Yes.
that they're trying too hard to push that, and maybe the hair was too much. Maybe if they fixed the hair and maybe not made that a thing, maybe it wouldn't be as bad. But then you go into Intellion and the spy. Again, to me, it's a light connection, but it's a connection. You do your own thing. Maybe because you're doing your stuff. Spies work by themselves for the most part. Let's be real, right? So all of this to
Yes.
me screams solitude. You're crying by yourself. You're being an emo by yourself. You're a spy by yourself. So that's the connection I make when it comes to this. It's still a light connection and maybe not as much as people want, but I understand it. But I think the biggest issue people have with Intellion is that they don't like how humanoid it is because it's so thin. Right? It's thin. It's very, very, very humanoid, and that's a big divide for Pokemon players all over the world. Like people do not like Pokemon that are too heavily uh, thrown into this humanoid type of look. So I think that's the divide. It's big ass hands that it has. I think it's okay. I think that its Gigantamax form, where it's doing like a sniper all on top of a big its tail, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. That part I think is really cool. So um, but all in all, I don't think that they take away from Sabo as much as maybe most people do. I think Sabo itself is so good. And again, it captured the hearts of so many people. So it's still a very strong line to me, but I do understand that it falls off for most people when it evolves.
It's so funny. I'm rethinking Sabo as kind of a big muscle fighter type with like this big cape or something like that. Like I redesigned him in my head because I feel like if you're a person of fear, and you're a loner, you will probably wish that you had friends. You wish that you look better. So evolving, you'd be like, oh, okay, I feel a little bit powerful. And I can still see him as a little muscle type. And then he's just this big, gigantic or a dragon kind of thing. He just got muscle that's ripped with some kind of like cape or something, and it's just like, yes, it's a little bit cliche, but like I could see him just being like a king of the sea kind of look. Like I was fearful and I was thinking I was loner, but now look what I own. This is my land. This is my Atlantis. And so if you're trying to come in and take it, you're gonna have a hard time. That's how I'm
Yeah.
reimagining him. So
Hmm.
And then we get to Scarlet and Violet, where we have Quaxley, who is a duck who evolves into Quaxwell, and then Quaquavel is his final form. I couldn't find an animated drawing or anything. Hmm. Okay, it's definitely screaming drag queen. It's definitely seeing. It's this is more believable than George Santos at this point when it comes to drag.
Yes.
Like
I love it.
like Quaxley is fierce. He serves. I love his starting look. I really and I do love the little. I always thought the blue part was his hat, but that's is actually his hair. You know, he got the little hand that's out. Like he is a great design. When he gets into Quaxwell, you know, he look like he got some shoes. The bigger the hair, the closer to God. That they say in Texas and drag. Like he's serving drag queen, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad at his look or anything. Uh, Quaquavel, um, a little bit too golden girlish for me, but it's fine. It works. Uh, but Crackswell, I do love Crackswell's look, but Cracksy is a strong starting look for a starter. Uh, Benjamin.
So this was the starter that I chose in my game. I think Quaxley is a great design. There was people in the beginning that were, well, and I'm talking about people that I read on like Twitter and social media and stuff like that, that thought that his design was too simplistic. But I think that's what works for him. I love,
hmm
especially when you saw him animated. See, there's a big divide when you see a Pokemon and you see a Pokemon animated to see what really they were going for. So when they showed that original video, the beginning, when you see it like playing in the water and then like moving its hair and how its hair had like a gelatinous move to it, I thought that was
Yes.
fantastic. I think that really brought it to life. Of course, it's a very cute design with the big eyes. The white against the blue looks fantastic. The pose, of course, it's a very flamboyant Pokemon line, and that's okay. We need stuff like that. We need more representation. I really think that they knew what they were doing here. They said we're going to make it flamboyant, but we're going to do it in a way that we can't have people basically against us, right? So when it evolves into Quaquaval, it's a dancer. I mean, dancing can be anyone. Dancing can be male, female, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I love how they stick to that. Yeah, it's flamboyant as well, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I love the animation. Even when the Pokemon faints, it does like a specific dancing pose as it goes back into its Pokeball. It is fantastic. I love it. The fact that it's like gelatinous hair got bigger, like you said, close bigger hair, closer to God. I love that thing. I think it's a really, really strong design Pokemon. When it gets to Quaquaval, um, it is. I think it's really good design, but I love it when it's animated, when it's moving around more
hmm
than its art because it's missing some of the water droplets that's turned into because it really turns into a why can't I think what that's called? A peacock, right? So it's turning
Yes.
into a peacock as well as a dancer, as well as um there's a specific person that does this kind of thing. I'm trying to think like Dragon Quest 11, the one guy in Dragon Quest 11, and I love that game. He has black hair. He's very flamboyant himself, and
Yeah.
he does this as well. He's like that. I can't think what they're called, but anyway, he's dancing all the time, and I think this Pokemon definitely suffers from not being in motion. When this Pokemon's in motion, you really get the design. You really understand what they were going for. It looks amazing. Its signature move, it's fantastic. Everything is just fun and flamboyant. I love it. I really, really love it. I'm so glad I chose this Pokemon to start with. I think it is fantastic. So this one's gonna be hard to beat.
This one is weird because he looks like a sailor. When you just look at Quaxley, he looks like a sailor. And then for him to evolve into like we mentioned like a dancer with Quaxwell, like he has that flamingo pose, like he's about to do a flamingo dance or something, or you know how they do the dance competitions, like he's waiting for his partner. Uh, and it's so Yes, it does look. It's really look good. I think Quaxley, once again, it's a strong looking starter and
Hmm.
everything. So,
For sure.
well, everybody, we're about to get into the final section, which is fire.
Hmm.
And X and Y, we have Finnegan, who is a fox, looking character. He evolves into Braxton, and his final form is Delphox. I'm just gonna say this: the fire type from X and Y from all four of these games are the best and yet the hardest to rank.
Okay.
I love Finnegan. I love the look. I love like the hair going out, which has got this fire thing. But then Braxton, like I even love his name once again with the X, the XEN to make it like a Z or like brazen. It should be. It's almost like blazing, but brazen. I like the stick that's out of the foxtail. Um, Still with the hair coming out the ears. Just like everything about the fur is flowing like fire. And then his Delphox, it looks like it has this witch kind of design to it. Um, with the stick being fire and everything. Like everything about this is once again consistent, and like it's really hard to see. Like, I'm so tongue tied because it's so beautiful in all three, and I love Finnegan.
Fennec is great. Fennec is great. So I already told you I liked cats. Foxes are close to cats. They're a mixture of like a cat and a dog, I guess, right? I guess that's what a fox really is. And I think this design is beautiful. I love the tufts in its ears, and one thing Pokemon does for me is it kind of gets me to look into their inspirations and kind of learn more about that. And I never knew what a Fennec Fox was until Fennekin, because I'm like, I would find all those Pokemon YouTube channels or something that say that they find like the lore or how this came to be and trying to, and then I'm like, oh, it's based off of a Fennec Fox. What is that? So I looked at it, and they nailed it. They nailed this. This looks exactly like a Fennec Fox, but also like a Fire type. Amazing Pokemon. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Braixen is fantastic. It also has a lot of love that was featured in Pokken Tournament.
Mhm.
It also, that one to me has more of the witch aesthetic, because where the placement of the stick is, if you just look at the stick and the tail, it looks like a broom, and I think that was fantastic. A
Oh
fantastic design.
wow!
Yes. That one is to me the witch because it has the broom. It can take it out and use it, but when it's back in its thing, it is a broom. So amazing, amazing design. Now, where it falls off for a lot of people, and this was a big divide, almost everyone, when they saw Delphox, they were not happy with it. I think it just makes logical sense, so I really don't know what people complain about. It goes from a witch to an actual wizard. To me, I mean, it's if Delphox is standing up and you look at its clothes, it looks like it's wearing a wizard's cloak, right? It looks like
Yes.
it's wearing a wizard's cloak. You can see that the part of its fur that's coming down here, just like an elongated cloak, because they have the hang part, and then it has its wand in its hand. So it is a wizard, and of course, it makes sense that the ears are just going to get more and more big. So to me, I don't see how else they really could have done this. I think it's a really, really strong evolutionary line, because all of it, unlike, you know, Froakie and stuff like that, some of the stuff don't make sense. This makes sense. This totally makes sense to me. So I really like it as a whole. I think it's very strong.
It's it's they got it right. To me, it's just all beautiful,
Hmm.
which puts me in, oh goodness, Sun and Moon, Litten. He evolves into Torracat and Incineroar that a lot of people have seen in it. I I love Litten. The name, the design, the color scheme, the pose. Linen is everything, and then Turbo Cat, he has like their interpretation of a tiger and stuff, and he still has this look, but it's Cinnamore. It's just, of course, people who have seen Smash and everything has kind of
Hmm.
seen him and everything. I was glad they brought him to Smash, and his trailer is very funny.
So
But I
funny.
love the fire because it's just like he's turned into a wrestler in a sense. Love the fire belt. Love the little tail, the claws, the fur. He has this Shadow the Hedgehog look to him, but done by Nintendo in a sense, or the Pokemon Company, I should say. All threes, all three of them are strong. I love them, but Lennon himself as a starter, he's literally top tier. You're talking about S. He's like he's the whole alphabet and the soup.
Wow, that's some high praise.
I
Uh,
love I love Litton.
I will have to agree, Litton is pretty fantastic, and I think, I mean, of course, I already mentioned to you I love cats. So when we finally got a cat starter, because this was our first cat starter that
Yes.
we got, and I was like, finally, why? How did it take this long to get a cat starter? I was so happy about this, and I think what's great is that the color scheme works so well for it. You knew that by the end of this evolutionary line, that there was no way that this wasn't going to be a fire and dark type. It made sense. You knew it from the get go, black and red. What else could it turn into that would make sense? And they went for it, and it makes sense. Love that. It's so so good. Torcat is also a really good design. People were so happy that it stood on four legs. So so happy. I love the little bell, and that's where they it's a bell on it, but they call it it's fire, it's flame organ or something, and that's where the flame comes out when it's Torcat. It's such a good design. It makes perfect sense. It does look like an evolution. You can see that it got a little more mature and a little bit more aggressive because its nails are sticking out. It's really really good. Incineroar is another divisive Pokemon. Why? Because it went on two legs, right? I have seen it in the anime actually run on four, but when it runs, it puts its paws like this, right? And it runs on its knuckles. So it's a little weird, but it itself, if you get away from that whole that mentality about it has to stay on four legs, it's really good. The fire belt, I mean, the fire belt itself is fantastic. You know, I love how it looks like it has a ripped shirt.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a heal. 'Cause it's called the heal Pokemon, and I guess the heal in wrestlers are like the ones that are bad, basically, like the bad guys. And it makes sense. It's a dark type, so it's a fire and dark type. It's a heal type wrestler. I think it just looks badass. So yes, it's a little bit of a shame that it didn't stay on four legs, but I think what we got out of it was a really, really, really good Pokemon. So the whole line is amazing. This is an amazing design, and I'm so happy that this was our first cat type starter.
Yes. Which gives us into Sword and Shield. Which gives us Score Bunny. He's a bunny kind of with a band-aid around his nose. He's a lot of white, and then he has red on him. He evolves into Raboot, which makes him look like a mascot ninja in a sense. And then you got Cinderace, where he looks like he's quick and about to run. So if you think of a version of Tortoise in the hair in the Pokemon universe
Hmm.
and
Okay.
everything, um, Scorbunny looks good. I like his look. Raboot is giving me so much Sega mascot design on the GameCube.
It's definitely that. I can see that.
Uh, as as for Cinderace, um, I like the fairy tale look to it and everything. How he got his legs up. Um, he has this kind of belt, not belt, like biker shorts kind of thing with the fur on his legs. His ears growing up with little hair going up. Like he still has a bunny face, but they kind of like molded it together in a sense. Uh Yeah, it's not a bad looking. It's not bad. Scorbunny doesn't look bad. He really looks good as a starter. It's just Raboot is giving me so much Sega vibes. Like, and I love that he has this ninja look to him, where even where his collar is at is also a mask. In a sense,
Hmm.
it looks like it's a turtleneck. Where it
Yes.
wants to be a turtleneck. Um, but like it works. But still, it's giving me Sega mascot. What about you, Benjamin?
I really like this evolutionary line. Score Bunny is super cute. You know, I think this one before we got to when we went to Paldea and we talked about Quaxley being a white color. I think that was the feedback I got mostly from the interwebs is that it was just all white with these little tufts of orange and stuff. That was kind of a little weird for most people. I thought it was really cute, and it's playing with the trope with the band-aid. So they do that a lot of in like Japanese anime. You know what I mean? Talking
Hmm.
about someone who's into sports and stuff like that. So they have the band-aids all over. I think that was really really cute. When I saw it animated in the anime, super cute, super energetic, really came to life. And I think that original trailer that they showed it off too, about it jumping around and then running around and fire at its feet, I think that really brought it to life. So I think it's a really good design. Raboot is definitely a fun Pokemon. I mean, you can't, and like you said, it has a turtleneck, but it's also like it has a jumper on, with the where the
Hmm.
rack is, and they can put its hands in between. I just love that part of it. The only part about it that I kind of don't like is what's going on here. I understand that they took the band-aid and they try to move it all over, right? But now it kind of looks like a hairband, I guess. But to me, that's the part that doesn't make sense as much. That's the only part of that design that I'm just like, if that was tweaked, it would look fantastic. But everything else about it, it's great. Cinderace, it looks like a soccer player. It looks like a soccer bunny. So they really did make it look that way. And I think it looks good. The only part about Cinderace that I'm not a fan of is its hands. I think its hands are just a little weirdly shaped. Even in its promotional art, they just looked a little funny. I don't know what about them I'm not a fan of. I just don't really like its hands all that much. I think its head looks fine. I think its feet looks fine. I think the way it animates. I think the way it does like its kicks really fun. This one also has a Gigantamax form that I wish they would have leaned into a little bit more with the other one because I love the Gigantamax form being on a big fireball and then having long ears that are coming down to past its feet. And I think that dramatic change really
Hmm.
helped me with the Pokemon. I thought having it turn into from a bunny to a long-eared rabbit, awesome. To me, that was really good. So I wish they would have leaned into that a little bit more. But all in all, it's a really good designed evolutionary line.
All right, and then we get into our final one with Scarlet and Violet with Fuecoco, who is this kind of dinosaur crocodile mixed with an apple look. He evolves into Crocolore, which has this um very Spanish. What kind of hat is it?
We
Benjamin
just call
is
it a sombrero. A
okay.
sombrero.
That's
Hmm.
some okay, okay. He has that, and he's still happy with it. And then you get to Ridge, where he looks like more of a crocodile mixed with a skeleton, which has this firebird on his nose and this fire coming out on his side and everything. He's kind of four legged and stuff. I will say this: I don't know what for Skeledirge, he looked like he has a shirt on that I
Okay.
kind of want in a sense.
Okay.
Like it looks like a turtleneck sweater or something.
Hmm.
I know it's kind of hard to see or imagine it, but it looks like it's something I would wear and
Okay.
stuff. You know. Um
Hmm.
but okay. But going back to his first look, Few Coco. I love this. I think this is such it's probably the best and the cutest look of a starter. I love how happy he is. I love that he's always hungry, wants to chop down on something. He looks like he's the sweetest Pokemon and he's your best friend, even if that you feed him. When it got to Crocodile, I just laughed. I couldn't stop laughing. I think it's because of the hat, the sombrero.
Mhm.
There's something
Smile.
about it, huh?
Even the smile. If you look at that
Yes,
design, yeah, it has a smile to it, so it definitely makes you laugh.
yes. And then he just gets so serious with Skeletor Rich, but I'm thinking it's kind of something with heritage. Not heritage. It looks festive in a sense, or like tribal in a sense. With the way he looked, like for New Orleans, um, when they do Mardi Gras, that's the kind of look he's giving and everything. Uh, I kind of wish the fire. I understand what they're going for. I wish the fire was a little bit longer and flowing and stuff. But I do love there's the little bird on the nose because if people see like nature videos, there's always a bird on some crocodiles, and crocodiles they don't care. For us as a viewer, be like, I wonder if he's gonna eat that little bird, and no, they just walk around with a bird on them. Like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
they don't know this, so they don't care.
So, Fuecoco is amazing. Of course, it is super cute. The fact that they gave it three teeth, I think, really helped. A big mouth and three teeth. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It looks super cute. It looks inviting. It looks like it wants to be your friend, like it would follow you around everywhere. Super happy, jovial, energetic. It's amazing. And what they really did here is that they really mixed three designs. So you have cocodrillo, which is a crocodile in Spanish. You have obviously fue for fuego for fire, but not even just that. So the Pokemon itself is supposed to be like a pepper. All right. So if you look at it from its side profile, it
Uh huh.
looks like a ghost pepper. It actually has this as its shape, the way that peppers are shaped. The the fact that it has the white face on the red body gives you that ghost pepper design, right? But it also does look like an apple. A lot of people totally get that design. And then of course it has the alligator design too. So it's
Yes.
multifaceted. I love it. It's a very, very, very strong design. And then it goes to Crocolore. And Crocolore is so fun because obviously it is definitely a sombrero on its head, but it's also fire, but it's also a nest. So there's three things again. It's a hat, a Spanish hat. It is fire as its hair, and that it is also a nest with an egg in the middle. I mean, super, super fun. Super fun. And then it just makes sense that what's going to hatch from the egg but a little bird. So when it goes to its final form of Skeledirge, it has the bird first and foremost. I do agree with the fire. I think the fire when it animates in the game is a little too it doesn't look as much like fire. It actually
Yeah.
has a shape that's not very fire inducing. It looks like almost like worms. I can't almost like fingers. So it's gonna have these shapes animated as opposed to the shape of fire. So that I think is where it loses a little bit, but it's really giving Day of the Dead. So it's giving that's where it's giving the inspiration on its face. It's giving the Day of the Dead. So if you saw those I forget there was an animated movie that they did more recently. I don't know if it was Pixar. I can't remember who did it. There was one of them more recently that they kind of went over that. You can see all the inspiration if you look at those movies and how they have the face painted like that. So to me, it's a very, very, very strong design. But then they don't just stop there. The Pokemon itself is a singer. Like never would have thought that this Pokemon would be a singer when it
Wait,
does it.
what?
This Pokemon is a singer. When it does its signature move, it actually the bird actually goes on a stick and it becomes a microphone and it sings into the microphone and the bird itself does the does the move. It is a singer. So this whole region had a thing of like
Wow.
entertainment, I believe, with Meowscarada being like somebody on the stage, and then you have the singer, and then you have the dancer being Quaquaval. So they did a theme this time as well. It was
Okay.
entertainment. But yeah, I couldn't believe that this thing was ended up being a singer. So fun. It's a great design. The whole
I'm look.
evolutionary line.
I'm looking at Skeldridge of Fire. It doesn't look like Afro Puffs. It's the way that you see it. It looks like some Afro Puffs on them.
Yeah.
So,
But I just think that they should have just leaned into that being more fire than whatever shape they were going for this. I think that would have
yes.
helped it out just a little bit better. Just make it look like fire instead of whatever shape this is. But everything other than that is perfection.
Okay, Benjamin. It's time for our final ranking.
Hmm.
I have my ranking. You have your ranking. We're gonna do it like
I do.
last time.
Yeah.
Uh, Number 12 is 1 point, and when you get to number 1, it's 12 points. We're doing it that way. Uh, so, um, you want me to go first, or do you
Yeah,
want to go
sure.
first?
Please
Okay.
go first.
My number 12 is Poplio.
Wow.
I, all that work, just, in the way that he evolves, uh, uh, yeah, all that work to get to Greninja, I just, yeah, I can't. So he's number 12 for me.
I have to agree with you. That's what I have. Poplio
Okay.
is number 12 for me. Very, like I said, I'm more interested in its final evolution. So that tells you how much the starter didn't really work, right? If you're more interested
Yes.
in its evolution.
Okay. So, well, my second one is Quaxley. I'm sorry. I love
Number
Quaxley.
11 is Quaxley for you? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Wow. Okay.
I know I gave him high praise in it,
Hmm.
but overall, I I think that transformation from him being a duck to this kind of dancer, it just feels so weird in the transformation. So Craxy is uh number 11 for me. What about you?
Wow. Number 11 for me is Grookey. Yeah. You know, I really like Grookey itself, but not not enough. Not enough compared to everybody else. It's a cute monkey for sure, but it just doesn't
Yes.
do enough for me. And then if I also take into account its evolutions, eh, you know, like not bad, but not good.
Okay. My number 10 is Chespin.
Okay, Chespin, got it. Wow. Okay. My number 10 is Scorbunny. It's cute. It's a rabbit, but that's it.
Okay. Then number 9 for me is Score Bunny.
Number 9 is Scorbunny. Hey, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
We're pretty close here. All right. So 8 for me is Fennekin.
Oh, number
Even
9.
though, oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Number 9. I jumped ahead. My goodness. Thank you. Number 9 for me, can't believe I jumped ahead, is Chespin. Chespin for me is number 9. See, we're very close in our numbers. I guess that's why I was getting confused. Number 9 for me is Chespin. Very, I like its final evolution. Chespin is very cute. It falls off in the middle, but overall, it's just okay.
Okay. Well, my number 8 is hold on 1 second. There we go. My number 8 is Groki.
Number 8 is Grookey. Okay.
Yes. Is it
Here.
Grookey?
Yep, Grookey, because it's
Okay.
two O's. Yep. Hmm. And I think they were trying to go for the word groove, trying to give you a hint that it was going to be musically inclined. I think that's
Yes.
what the thing was. So um, I already gave my number eight, but my number eight again officially is Fennekin.
Okay. All right. So, well, my number 7 is Froakie.
Froakie. Let me put that here. Froakie is number 7. Wow, we did the same. I have Froakie as number 7 as well.
Okay.
Wow, we're doing good. Pretty close.
Exactly. Okay. So, my number 6 is Sobble.
Sabo 6. Wow. I wish I could show you this. Do you not think that I'm making this up? I have Sabo as number 6 as well.
Okay.
That is insane.
Ah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. All right. Number 5 for me is Rowlet.
Okay, Rowlet is number 5. Okay, let me see what I have. I wish I could show you show you this, but I have it as number 5. I cannot believe that. Last time we were so all over the place. This time we have a lot that are the same. This is insane. That's too funny.
Yes. Okay. My number 4 is Fennekin.
Your number 4 is Fennekin. Okay. My number 4 is Fuecoco. Very good Pokemon, but we're getting towards the top, so it just didn't quite make it for me. But 4 is Fuecoco.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Number 3 for me is for the one that you just chose for Keiko.
Fuecoco?
Yes, I keep.
Fuecoco. Okay, that's okay. It's Fuecoco. Fuecoco.
Fue Coco.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
So that was your number 3, and my number 3 is Quaxley. I mean, it made it to the top 3. It is a really, really good Pokemon.
Okay, number 2. Uh, my number 2, Sprigatito.
Sprigatito, number 2. Sprigatito. All right. Hey, we're there again. The same. It's 2 Sprigatito for me.
Then
That means that we both have the same number 1.
yeah, Lennon.
Litten, yes, we both have the same number. We're cat people, obviously, then, because we both have our cats as number 1 and number 2. I had to. I love the cat designs. They are so good. Sprigatito almost made it, but Litten, maybe it's because it's been around longer for me already. Maybe if Sprigatito came out first, maybe I would have, reversed them. But Litten is just so good.
Okay, so let's see.
So I'm gonna try to do this. So you said that how we score this, and I think I might have been confused last time, which is why I didn't do this. But now I'm gonna be a little better with this. So you said if ranking 12 is worth 1 point, then 11 would be 2 points, and so on and so forth. Did I get that
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
So Poplio got 2 points. So he's the bottom. He's number 12.
Poplio got 2 points.
Yes.
So okay, give me 1
Okay.
second. I'm just gonna put this here. Points. So Poplio got 2 points. So
Yeah.
we're giving it number 12 officially.
Yes.
Okay.
Quaxley got 12 points.
Quacks.
For right now. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Groki got 7 points.
Roki 7. Got it.
Chespin got 7.
Got it.
And Score Bunny got 7. Um, Fennekin got 14.
Got it.
Froakie got 12.
Okay.
Sabo got 14.
Sabo. Okay. 14. Got it.
Rolex got 14.
14. Got it.
Uh, let's see. Oh, Fennekin got 14. That's right. Coco got 19. I don't know why I keep saying that wrong.
It's all good. And
Uh,
then Litten and
uh,
Sprigatito. Yeah.
Sprigatito got 22, and Litton got 24.
All right. All right. So we got all the numbers. Now we have to rank. I mean, we easily know what number one is. Do you want to go one to 12 or 12 to one? How do you want to do it?
Go for 12 to 1.
Okay, no problem. So the one that has the least amount, the ones that had the least amount of points was Poplio. So that's instantly, easily number 12, right? There's no contesting that. That
Yes.
only had 2 points.
Hold on 1 second. I'm about to make another one. So Papaleo is 12. Who's number 11?
So if we look at the least amount of points, I think the next ones are tied for 7. We have 3 of them that are tied for 7, which is Chespin at 7, Grookey at 7, and Scorbunny at 7.
Okay, as you're my guest, where would you put those 3 at? Who do you think has the least design, and who has the better design?
I would say that Chespin would be 11, in my
Okay,
opinion.
Chessman is 11. 10.
10 would be Grookey. Absolutely.
And then 9 would be Scorbunny.
Correct. All right, so the next highest in the number, I believe, would be Froakie. Goes from 7. Yeah, because Grookey got 12. Froakie and Quaxley are now tied. So we're looking at 8 and 7. And
So I would give Froakie 8 and Quaxley 7 because I
I
think
absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I think
okay.
Quaxley is still the strongest one out of them. So if there was a
Yes.
tie, it gets the higher one. Yeah, for sure. All right. So next would be, I think, a tie for 14 points. We have Sobble, Fennekin, and Rowlet.
Okay. I think for me personally, I think Sabo would be. I would say I would go Sabo.
For 6th place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
And again, Fennekin and Rowlet.
I I would go Rowlet for 5, Finnegan for 4.
Rowlet as 5, Fennekin 4. All right, I'm on board. And so that was 14. So the next one would be 19, which is Coco. So that looks like that's an automatic 3.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Finnegan is
Fennekin
4.
was 4. Mm-hmm.
03 is we was
3 is, yeah, 19, Coco.
Coco.
19 points. Mm-hmm.
All right. 2 is
Sprigatito.
Spirigato.
And then 1 is Litten. I can't believe we agreed with that one. That's awesome.
He has the best design. Like I'm sorry, he literally has the best design. Um, like just even I'm just scrolling up to even look at it. Like it's so good just even looking at it. Like I can't stop looking at all three of his designs.
Yeah. So good. So
So good, so good. Well, everybody, Benjamin, do you want to read them off one more time? Our final.
sure. Final 12. We're going to go in reverse order, of course. So number 12 is Poplio. Number 11, Chespin. Number 10, Grookey. Number 9, Scorbunny. Number 8, Froakie. Number 7, Quaxley. Number 6, Sobble. Number 5, Rowlet. Number 4, Fennekin. Number 3, Fuecoco. Number 2, Sprigatito. And then number 1 is Litten.
Yes. And everybody, that is our final ranking Nintendo Pokemon Edition. We have ranked 27 starters. Oh,
Yeah, this has been fun.
thank you, Benjamin, so much. You have been such a big help helping me breaking these Pokemon. I know we didn't do some of the side games like Pokemon Legends. I know we didn't talk about Ultimate Sun and Moon and stuff, but we just wanted to get to the starters. I had so much fun doing this with you. If you want to go ahead and plug one more time, Benjamin, where can people find you?
Sure, you can find me on Twitter. My handle is Akizero. It's Aquizero.
Yes, and you guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. Check us out on Boss Rush Media on our YouTube and on our Discord. We have a new ranking Nintendo. We don't have one yet to tell you guys, but get ready for our next one because I think we're going to have a discussion. But people really want us to rank the Legend of Zelda series,
That's gonna be fun.
and I kind of want to rank. I kind of want to rank the Mega Man series.
Oof, that would be hard too. I would have to brush up on even my knowledge. There's so much Mega Man that I stopped. I kind of stopped for a while, so I it wouldn't be a one for me. I can tell you.
I know, well, because we're still having a debate. And I think I wrote a story about this that there's no game like Mega Man versus Mega Man 3 when it comes to debating which is best.
I don't
So
even remember playing that game, so oof. I wouldn't be the one to say. I wouldn't be the one. I love Mega Man in a different sense, but the original games were so hard for me at the time, so I don't think I spent too much time with them. I think I became a Mega Man fan with Mega Man X and Mega Man Legends. Those are how I became a Mega Man fan more than the originals. Yeah.
Mega Man Legends is so good. I Capcom bring that back. Like I I
I
beat it on PlayStation 1 and I want to revisit that game. Cause I feel like it's been so long since it came out that I got a chance to play it. And I think if people play Mega Man Legends, they will understand why. Yeah, we got Mega Man Legends 2, but people will understand why we need 3. Why this game needs to be
yes.
concluded.
Some people forget that there was three in that series, which the Misadventures of Tron Bonne.
Yes.
I played that
Yes.
too. Not as good as the other ones, but we did get three in the Mega Man Legends universe, I guess, to say it that way. But yeah, I would love for another one, and or a remake. Do a remake of the original, get people back into it. I think it could work easily. Just add a little bit more content. It would be easy.
Yes.
Easy.
Well, with that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on Ranking Nintendo. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Nintendo Expansion Pass is part of Nintendo Power Block and is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC. The show is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio, and is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Corey Deary. You can find Corey at I am Corey at HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. Follow Expansion Pass as part of Nintendo Power Block and on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.